Hello and welcome back to another Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2952. It is day 5. It is Anvil Aerospace. It is the brand that brings you the best of the best exploration ship, the Anvil Carrack. Before we begin, like, subscribe, hit the notification button and help this channel grow. And of course, other than having the best exploration ship out there, they are introducing a new small little ship that has medical bay, rather T3 bed, and that is quite interesting. So let's get on to it and see what is the Warborn daily deal. It is the F7CM Super Hornet, and this is one of those ships in the game that has a very special place in my heart. I did say there's a lot of ships that has a place in my heart, right? But no, this one basically is number one in the spot right now, because this is the first ship that I flew in the verse, right? It's not Aurora, it's not Mustang, it's not any other thing. It is the F7CM Super Hornet, and because of this ship, it got me into Star Citizen. So that's why this ship is, I would say, at the end of the day, if I have still some budget, I would definitely add this to my fleet. It's definitely happening for sure, as a commemorative memorabilia for me. Yeah, the ship that kickstart my Star Citizen journey. And in this case, how much does it cost? It is $180, but because of the Warborn daily deal, it is $165. That's a solid $15, right? Sure, it is not a lot, but still $15 is a lot. Yeah, and then 165 is technically the original price for the Super Hornet ever since it was released, if I'm not mistaken. 165. Wow. Alright, so let's begin with the vehicles from Anvil Aerospace. Of course, I will start with the Carrack, legendary Pathfinder. Now, the Carrack, the reason why I love the Carrack, and not because it's an exploration ship, the exploration part does makes it more lucrative and nice. At $600, right? Let's talk about price tag first. Should you pick up the Carrack? It's a very tough choice because of the new rework of the 600i, much cheaper. It's basically cheaper in general, and that's the reason why I would recommend the 600i over the Carrack at the moment. And the most critical part, 600i, it gets a new medical bay, and that's the most important part on space exploration, and that's why Carrack is one of the best until the rework for 600i, which is a bit painful, but still, Carrack is one of the best ship out there if you're focusing on group play, exploration, non-pew-pew stuff, because this ship is horrible. There's no guns for the pilot, right? You really need your friends to play with, whereas the 600i has pilot control weapons. And yeah, at the moment, I'm kind of hard selling 600i at the moment. But anyway, enough about origin ships. Let's focus on the Carrack. So the Carrack has a bay for a parasite ship and a nice big vehicle bay. Not as big as you can fit a Nova Tonk, which is sad, but you can fit up to a rover and still have a little bit of space to squeeze a Dragonfly Black. That's right, and that's that. And of course, we have nice nice side turrets, 2 remote turrets, one at the top, one at the back. So you have 1 pilot and 5 crew that you can play around with. And on top of that, because you can fit a parasite ship, a Pisces, so you can go up to 6 if you want to fully crew the Carrack. Personally, 2 to 3, it's the minimum crew that you can go around with full efficiency. 2 to 3 is just nice. And the medical pay is nothing to scoff on. It's one of the best thing. It's a lifesaver for solo exploration, and it still is. Alright, let's move on to the Centurion. It is a vehicle, a combat vehicle, $110. Yeah, this is an easy skip. It's nice, it's cool, it's great, it's short range surface to air dominance, but still, because it's vehicle, I would say just buy it in game instead. Great, 110 could use it for something else. Now the Crucible, $350 right now. It's still on the concept stage. This ship is kind of interesting. If you are also a small crew of two, right? One pilot the Crucible and one maybe pilot a Super Hornet. Yeah, you can repair. It's a mobile repair platform, so you can stay longer into the fight if you choose to. Not so sure about the armaments on the Crucible yet, but $350, this ship will go up in price pretty soon when it's flight ready. Or not say pretty soon. It will go up in price when it's closer to flight ready or flight ready. Personally, I think this thing will go about doesn't feel like a $400 ship. Maybe $450 to $500, give or take. I'm gonna say $450 first. All right, $450 would be just nice. $500 might be a bit too much. All right, moving on, we have the Hornet series. We have the F7C Hornet base version 110. We have the F7C Hornet Wildfire, basically nicer paint job and better weapons at 175. We have my favorite F7CM Super Hornet, the best of the best, $180. We have the F7CR Hornet Tracker. This is a tracking version or Pathfinder, $140. Basically better range in terms of radar. We have lastly the F7CS Hornet Ghost, aka a stealth fighter, $425. Whew. But also this is a bit weaker in armor, so it's a bit interesting. So which Hornet should you pick up? It's the question, or rather the question that you ask. Base Hornet, definitely worth picking up if you want a bit more solid pew pew without blowing the bank. This is actually a very good competitor to Saber, but not good enough because you need to get a ball turret to match its firepower with the Saber. However, it matches the same firepower as the Gladiator. A little bit heavy on the flight maneuverability, but better armor than the Gladiator. See, that's fine. When it comes to medium fighter and light fighter, you have so many options. And in this case, this is a medium fighter. That's why it's a bit sluggish, but more pew-pew capability, especially when you can mount a ball turret. Whereas the Wildfire has the ball turret. The F7CM has a ball turret. The Tracker and the Ghost, I'm not so sure I've tested it yet, but you technically can remove the center module. That means you can put a ball turret to make it more pew-pew worthy. But in this case, the Ghost and the Tracker, it's a very niche ship. In my case, I would say probably pick the base version. And I just realized this one has a different model. Right, yeah, the Pathfinder has a different, the Tracker has a different model. A little bit small bits and pieces difference, yeah. Everything is the same. Wow. Interesting. As for these two, it's up to you, right? If you want to pick something a bit more niche, yeah, I would say I'll pick the Ghost for stealth capability for now, but still, I'm going to stick to the F7CM Super Hornet. Next, we have the Gladiator. This is a versatile bomber fighter, so I'll put this on more of a in between a medium fighter and a heavy fighter because it's a it's a two-pilot ship and it has size 5 missiles. Not the biggest stick out there, but it is strong enough. 165. 165, I would actually pick the Retaliator. Yeah, if you're gonna go bomber, might as well go the best of the best, which is the Retaliator. Yep. So this one is in the question mark, like, who is it for? Is it for a surplus or people who just want to have a little bit of different style of playing? Maybe. Next, we have the Anvil Hawk at $100. This is the next bounty hunter ship. And it has an EMP module, and this is quite interesting, right? This ship is very interesting. Again, very niche. If I were to compare to the Avenger Warlock, yeah, this one is a much more nicer profile, but at what expense? Because the weaponry is not that good. It's a bit spread out. That's the problem. Yeah, and that's it. Next, we have the Anvil Hurricane. This is a very, very glass cannon ship, $195, maximum firepower. Yeah, the Hurricane is one of the gold standard for maximum firepower. and followed by actually the Crusader Ares, because Ares is a whole different story. But yeah, Hurricane is nice. Nice, 195. Next, we have the Legionnaire. This is the boarding vessel. This is the cheapest dropship, I would say, $120. Yeah, and that's about it, dropship. Next, we have the Liberator, 575. This ship now, it's a concept ship. So when this goes flight ready, 650. I have a feeling it's 650 rather than 625. Maybe can go to 625. Maybe, not so sure yet, because this ship is big, and this ship is technically a light carrier, which is nice because it can carry a tank and a few combat ship, and it's nice, right? This is really, really a nice ship. The only downside is it doesn't have a medical bay for now. When I will review this when this thing comes out again, flight ready, because if this ship has a medical bay, oof, it's a nice ship. I would consider picking it up. Yeah, and if you realize anything that's a medical bed, I would like to pick up. Not everything, or not every ship I can pick up, because some of them are way too expensive, like the 890 jump, crazy. Next, we have the Spartan. This is a ground transport vehicle, $80. When it was LTI, it was technically a great pickup, but in this case, vehicle, skip. The Terrapin, now this is a scout ship, $220. According to paper, this is the smallest, best scouting ship out there, and it's one of the heaviest armor you can get for the ship of this size. Sadly, it's a very, very, very niche ship. Its only function is to explore, and that's that. $220, hard to recommend. Next, we have the Valkyrie at $375. This is a bigger dropship. In fact, this is the gold standard for dropship, because this ship can carry at least an Ursa rover. At least. No, sorry, not at least, at most. Yeah, because it can carry cyclones. That's very nice. It cannot carry a Tong. That's the downside. Yeah, $375. Very nice dropship. Yeah, again, very niche. Next, we have one of my favorite light fighter in the game. It is the Anvil Arrow. It is $75, the cheapest dedicated light fighter in the game. Sure, you can say, what about Mustang Delta and Aurora Legionnaire? Those are a little bit different, where the Arrow is sole focus is to shoot down enemy planes. And the reason why this is good is because it's very, very nimble. It's one of the nimblest ship. I think it's at the top alongside with Mustang Delta, to be honest. All right, Mustang Delta, Mustang Alpha. Alpha has less pew pew, where Delta has more pew pew. We're gonna look at that when it comes out. So $75, that's actually quite nice. Next, we have the Anvil Ballista, $140. Now this combat vehicle, yeah, it's an easy skip. $140 is way too much for a vehicle, that's for sure. Yep. And before we go, we have the Anvil C8R Pisces. This is a newly introduced rescue snub ship for the Anvil Carrack. Very nice. Very, very nice. And of course, they have a dedicated page out there, which I'm going to do a separate video about it and see how good it is. But for this case, this is a 13-meter ship. It's basically a small ship, 1 tier 3 bed. However, the skins are nice, especially this guy. However, like I said, skins I will never buy. I'll buy ships first, right? Ships before skins. Sadly, the price tag is $60. It is a little bit expensive compared to all the smaller ships out there. And that's about it. But this is actually a very, very nice ship. Small little ship. The next best competitor is the Cutlass Raid. And the Cutlass Raid is double the price of the Pisces, but a little bit better. So yeah, the Cutlass Raid still reigns supreme in my opinion. Yep. Unless you're playing with a group and you have an Anvil Carrack, Pisces is worth picking up. Anyway, that's that for today. Thank you for tuning in. So before I go, don't forget all these ships are optional. You do not need to pay with real money. You can you can buy with in-game currency. All you need to do is just buy the starter pack, and in this case we have the Drake Carter at $45. Yeah, very nice. Very cool. And of course, before you create new accounts for new people out there, make sure to use a referral code. If you don't have any referral code, you can use mine down below at the corner right screen. Until then, my friends, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, help this channel grow. And until then, I'll see you in the verse and fly safe. Oof. Yeah, Anvil needs a bigger ship. It's one more bigger ship. Carrack is nice. It needs one more big ship.